Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to CAA Travel Talks. As everyone is joining, I'm just going to give everyone a couple of minutes here. There's a little Q&A box at the bottom of your screen. Please feel free to drop in any questions as we go along, and Neil will be sure to address them at the end of the presentation. So I'm Karen Taff. I'm the Product Development and Groups Manager at CAA North and East, and we have with us today the incredible Neil Dudley from AmaWaterways. I'm absolutely thrilled to be sharing the stage with you tonight, Neil. We have such a great working relationship with AmaWaterways over many, many years, and they are truly our #1 preferred river cruise partner. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Karen.
Great. Okay, we'll get started. So CA Travel, we have been in business since 1961. We're providing you with worldwide travel experiences. We can help you with everything from your cruises to your land to your simple car and air and hotel. Your travel team in the stores and online are available to serve you whichever way that you prefer. And of course, CA Vacations is an incredible program that Neil is actually going to share a little bit about tonight with AmaWaterways. And part of our CA Vacations program is exclusive to CA members. So some of the perks, a 24/7 member care and best price guarantee. And it really varies the perks, whether it's a shipboard credit or if it's an extra night or a discount. But there's always going to be something special that is exclusive specifically for our members that you're not going to find anywhere else. If you are, first of all, check your passports, make sure they're up to date. And if they have expired, actually make sure it's valid for a good 6 months. Many countries now want them valid for 6 months. So if it has expired, go on into the CA stores and they're going to help you with the passport photos. If you are a plus or a premier member, they're actually going to be free. And if you are a classic or an everyday, they're only $8.50. You can earn CA dollars with many of our reward partners. Take a moment, go onto our website, hit rewards, and there's so many everyday items that you're going to use in companies that you can actually earn some CA dollars. And then you can actually apply those to your AmaWaterways cruise that you're going to book. As a CA member, you can be saving on our professional fees, and we also we exclusively issue the international driving permits in the stores too. And of course, the most important thing to pack is still travel insurance. Make sure that you've got adequate coverage. Our team can help you with that. And as a CA member, you can be saving up to 20%, which is pretty incredible. If you need any travel accessories, you can go on into the stores and be saving up to 20% there too. And new for us, I guess it's just over a year now, we'll be saving 3 cents a liter with Shell and 10% off your car washes and in-store purchases.
I
All
can tell you,
right,
Karen,
so Neil.
my company is very happy. My company is happy. I use my CA membership to save on gas every time. So there you go.
Excellent. So I've actually had the pleasure of sailing with AmaWaterways, and I can tell you they are exclusively the best, in my opinion, from the service, right from stepping on board to the incredible cuisine. The excursions are top notch. And the best part of all, they truly care about each and every guest to make you feel like family. So thank you again, once again, Neil, for joining us, and take it away.
All right. Thank you, everyone. So as Karen said, my name is Neil Dudley. I work with AmaWaterways, of course, and I love working with CA because, yes, wait till the very end, folks. We've got some amazing offers exclusive for the CAA members. So what I want to do tonight, though, is take you through a little history of our company, tell you about the products, and of course, end it off with some amazing offers that we've got for you to take advantage of. So AmaWaterways, folks, family owned and operated company, 2 main families since our inception. Just over 26 years ago, you've got Rudy and Christine, husband and wife team from Germany and Austria, combined with the Murphy family from Ireland and the US. So internationally owned and operated company. And that truly is reflected in the product itself. Now, if you're wondering where the name AmaWaterways came from, when our owners got together and to build this beautiful company, they really want to incorporate their true love and passion forever into the name of their company. So if anyone watching tonight remembers their Latin lessons of old, you'll know that ama means love in Latin, and that's actually where the name of our company came from. So I love to show this slide because, of course, I can't see your lovely faces to ask these questions and see what the answers are, but there is a pretty safe bet that a lot of you, if not all of you, taken an ocean cruise. And while we are a cruising vacation, we are very different to our ocean cruising cousins. And for those of you who have not been on a river cruise before, I love to show this slide because, yes, on a river cruise, folks, you are always within sight of land. different port of call each and every day, generally arriving on breakfast, staying right through till dinner, late nights and overnights in a number of ports of call, and on an AmaWaterways river cruise, much more intimate cruising environment with an average of 155 guests on board our beautiful ships. Now, at AmaWaterways, folks, we say we are the leaders in innovation. And this is not just something that our marketing department came up with, but it's based on the fact that Rudy down there in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen, not just one of our owners, he's the architect and designer of every single one of our ships. Always coming out with something new and exciting that the world of river cruising has never seen before. And that's why in our industry, he's referred to as the godfather of river cruising. We were the very first company to bring out ships with outdoor balconies, to have bikes on the ships for the guests to use, to have fitness centers, to have a wellness host offering classes both on and off the ship. But there's something else quite unique that we sometimes in the river cruise industry have to deal with. And you may have heard of this before, but sometimes water levels on the rivers of Europe can be too high or too low. Well, Rudy knew all about this and designed our fleet of ships to have the shallowest draft of any river cruise line. We only need about 4 feet of water underneath us in order to be able to cruise, putting us in the best position possible to always give you that beautiful luxury river cruise experience. Now, folks, I can tell you it's been Rudy's lifelong dream to always be a river cruise owner. And it actually goes back to the very first river cruise he ever took, which got him hooked, made him totally inspired to want to build these big, beautiful luxury European ships that we have now. And I actually happen to have footage of Rudy's very first river cruise to share with you tonight. Now, folks, it does go back quite a ways, back to 1975, in fact, on the Amazon, and there is Rudy up close and in person. Now, for those of you who have not been on AmaWaterways before, I can assure you we've come a long way since Rudy's very first river cruise. There's no more manual labor involved for you. In fact, folks, this is what the AmaWaterways experience looks like today. So that, folks, is just a little glimpse into the AmaWaterways experience. And what I'm going to do tonight is tell you the AmaWaterways difference. And it starts with the fact that we've got a fleet of 26 sister ships on the various rivers in and around the world, ensuring that no matter which ship you're going on, you're getting that exact same AmaWaterways onboard experience that you just saw in the video. But I will talk about one ship just a little different. She's the Ama Magna. She came out in 2019. She's the world's largest river cruise ship ever to be built, twice as wide as our regular fleet. And this was in response to Rudy going off to all sorts of social functions and hearing about people's beautiful boutique ocean experiences. And he'd ask them if they'd ever been on a river cruise before. And he'd get all sorts of answers from, I'm not old enough to do a river cruise, to, I'm going to be bored on a river cruise, to the cabins are too small, and the food isn't that great. Well, honestly, folks, Rudy built the Alma Magna in response to those guests. So the Alma Magna has 4 restaurants on board, all of which are included: rooftop heated pool, hot tub, multiple lounges, including a private movie theater, so multiple entertainment going on. But we only added another 40 passengers, so 196 guests. That's because the size of the suites are truly something unheard of for a river cruise experience. They actually start at 355 square feet, go up to 710 square feet. Folks, that is boutique ocean ship size. We've also added a few exclusive programs, including an indoor-outdoor wellness studio, a concierge golf program, if you wish to do that. But perhaps the most popular one we added just last year. So it is a full-size regulation pickleball court on the top sun deck. And folks, having an owner that's the architect and designer of all of our ships, the pickleball court has been placed on a sound absorption floor. So if you're actually in the lobby, underneath, you have no idea that pickleball is even going on. So very popular program on the Alma Magnas. But let's talk about all the accommodations on all of our ships. You've got 3 levels of accommodation on our European vessels. Picture window staterooms, French balcony suites, right up to our signature twin balcony suites. You've got the iMac entertainment system in all of the cabins, so your movies, your music, your TV channels. But Wi-Fi is also complimentary throughout your entire cruise, no matter what device you bring or don't bring, because you have full access through the iMac entertainment system. But I want to talk about our twin balcony suites. We like to think that we've perfected the balcony experience. So even though we were the first ones to bring it out, as you can see in the picture that on the left-hand side, that's your typical outdoor balcony. Table, chairs, you can actually sit outside, enjoy the weather, enjoy the views. But what happens when the weather's not so nice? Maybe it's a bit cooler, maybe it's raining outside. That's where we have the matching mirrored indoor balcony that you see on the right. Ceiling to floor windows, table and chairs, so that no matter what the weather, no matter what the temperature, you're always able to enjoy that beautiful balcony experience. Now, folks, on board all of our ships, we've got multiple lounges, and the picture in the top left-hand corner, it's a shot of the main lounge. That's the main hub of activity. This is where the cruise managers give his or her port talks each and every evening. This is where our locally themed entertainment happens every evening when we are cruising, and after they are done, we've got our onboard musician play music into the later hours as well. In addition, we've got our library lounge, a quieter area to relax, fireplace, and books to read. On the opposite side is our 24-hour cafe and lounge. Coffee, tea, espresso available whenever you'd like. And in each of our lounges throughout the day, we've got complimentary tapas for you to enjoy as well. Now, speaking of food, folks, this is an area we truly do shine. We've got multiple dining venues on all of our ships. Picture in the top left-hand corner, that's a shot of our main dining room. Breakfast, lunch, dinner in here. And you'll find there's about 170 seats in the restaurant. We've got about 155 guests on board. So that means open seating. Come and dine whenever, wherever you like, tables of 2, 4, 6, or 8. And folks, last year we decided to elevate our dining experience in the main dining room. So there are no buffets in our main dining room. All of the meals are an elevated a la carte dining experience. And folks, if you are looking for something quick to eat, maybe during breakfast or lunch in our main lounge, this is where we've actually set up a limited buffet. So you can go in there, just grab something to eat quickly as well. In addition to the main dining room, you've got these private wine rooms to the left and to the right-hand side. So if you're traveling with a group of 6 or 8 guests, you can dine in there for a bit more of an intimate dining experience. And at the back of the ship, we've got the chef's table restaurant. Seats about 28 guests, bit of an interactive culinary experience. You can see the chefs are back there, creating the meals right in front of you. And we make sure everybody gets a chance to dine in here at least once during their journey, because we won't take a second reservation from guests until everybody else has made their first reservation. And if anybody listening tonight considers themselves a bit of a food connoisseur, you may be familiar with either Chaîne de Rôtisseurs or Table et Auberge. These are the 2 oldest gastronomic societies in the world based on a restaurant's food, wine, and service. And we are thrilled to be the only river cruise line to have ever achieved either of these designations. And if you have any sort of healthy options, dietary restrictions that we need to be aware of, just let the team at CAA NEO know, and we will make sure that the chef is aware. They'll create an equally impressive array of meals with your specific dietary needs in mind. Some of the onboard services that we have, if you are the kind of cruiser that likes to get a massage, get your hair done. There are those services available on board. As I mentioned earlier, we've got bikes on board. We've got the wellness classes, fitness center, of course. And those bikes can be taken out also anytime you like. And we've got guided cycling tours on every single one of our cruises. But I will say the most popular area of recreation we have happens to be those rooftop heated pools we have in all of our main ships in Europe. Now, as you can see, there's a bartender up there to take care of your every need. But a couple of things of note with AmaWaterways, folks. You can bring on board whatever you like and enjoy it wherever you like. Maybe you bought something at duty free. Maybe you've gone off to a winery that day and bought a bottle of wine. Bring it back on board, enjoy it in the restaurant, enjoy it in the lounge, enjoy it up at the pool. Basically, folks, we want you to enjoy your AmaWaterways River Cruise experience exactly how you wish to do so without ever having to pay anything extra while you are on board. Now, a couple of questions I always get asked about the pool, like when is it open? It's open 24/7, and it is open our entire season from March right up through till the end of December when we do my absolute favorite European river cruise, and those are the Christmas Markets River Cruises. Now, yes, admittedly, folks, in November and December, we do tend to turn the temperature up a bit more in the pool, but I always like to encourage my fellow Canadian travelers, if you're going to go on a beautiful Christmas Markets River Cruise, please bring your swimwear, go up and enjoy the pool because it's the perfect opportunity for you to meet your fellow Canadian travelers because we're the only ones using the pool at that time. So let's talk about what's included with AmaWaterways, folks. Pretty much everything is included. All of your meals are included. All of your drinks with all of your meals. So unlimited beer, wine, and soft drinks. You got the sip and sail program in the late afternoon. That's essentially like a happy hour. Unlimited beverages, whatever you like. And of course, whatever you've brought on board. Folks, all of your tours are included every single day. We have no optional excursions. In the larger cities and towns, in fact, we give you a choice of activities, 5, 6, sometimes 7 different choices. You decide what it is you would like to see and do, and that's included with your AmaWaterways River Cruise. Now, folks, we try to put no more than 15 guests per tour guide, utilizing the AudioVox system. And if everybody chooses the same tour, never going to be sold out. We just keep adding more tour guides. But I will say my favorite enhancement came out in 2019. We were the very first river cruise line to bring out our own app called My Ama Cruise. Now, this app has all sorts of great information for you before, during, and after your river cruise. Beforehand, you'll see information on the cruise, your documents are in there. You can start selecting your tours. But my favorite part of this app actually happens when you are on board. Now, I will assume everybody listening today is taking a guided tour at some stage in your life. That means you listen to a tour guide take you all around an area, tell you all about those beautiful sites. And of course, you take picture upon picture upon picture to remember all of these beautiful sites. And you get back home after your 1 or your 2-week vacation, and you start looking back through your hundreds and hundreds of pictures, and you look back through some of these going, I have absolutely no idea what that is, let alone why I took a picture of these places. Well, folks, if you take all of your pictures now through the My Ama Cruise app, all of the notes that the tour guide gave you on that day will automatically link to the pictures you took that day. Forms into your own digital photo album for you to look at for years and years, and remember every part of your AmaWaterways River Cruise experience. And with one simple click, it's uploaded to your favorite social media site, whether that's Facebook or Instagram. So, folks, this is just a map of everywhere that we cruise in Europe and beyond. And what I want to do is just go through these in a bit of a brief overview, but this is why you have the team at CAA to help guide you through the specific river cruise you are looking at. They can answer all of your questions. So let's start with the Danube. You'll find 7 up to 14-night river cruises along the Danube, including a few new ones coming back in 2025, number of 14-night experiences as well. And I love to show this map because it shows all the different days where you choose the different tours. So every single day, folks, where you're seeing a symbol, that means you are choosing the different tours on that day. And folks, with regards to the tours, if you have any mobility issues, please note we always have gentle pace tours going. We've got regular pace, we've got more active pace tours. As a result, the average age of our guests are people in their 30s, all the way up to people in their 70s and 80s, because they all feel they can do an AmaWaterways River Cruise experience exactly how they wish to do so without ever having to pay anything extra while they are on board. So, folks, the Danube generally splits out into the Upper Danube, the Lower Danube, or the complete Danube experience. So the Upper Danube, 7-night experience taking from Germany down through to Hungary, extensions to go off and explore the beautiful city of Prague. The lower Danube will take you from Hungary down through to Romania with extensions to explore more of Romania or even over into Istanbul, Turkey. And as I said, the entire Danube, that's probably the most popular river cruise choice for the Canadians. We tend to be able to travel a bit longer. So we've got two different experiences. The 14 nights Grand Danube. It's kind of the best of the West, the best of the East. It takes you from Germany down through to Romania, or the magnificent Europe, which will take you from the Netherlands right down through to Hungary. So some of the highlights that you'd see on a Danube river cruise, these are the Iron Gates, the natural rock borders between Bulgaria and Serbia. Then, of course, you got Budapest, my absolute favorite city in all of Europe in the evening. It is lit up like a Christmas tree, and we will always overnight in Budapest, so you get that full nighttime experience. Vienna, of course, is always a highlight. So many things to see and do. We're always there for a late night or an overnight experience as well. And folks, it's not all about just the big cities along the Danube. We stop in a number of beautiful smaller towns, villages. This one being one of my absolute favorites, Dürnstein in the heart of the Wachau Valley, known for its apricot production, folks. So yes, you get some samplings and tastings of their beautiful apricots when you do the tour of Dürnstein. And then there's Wielstoven, folks. This is our home port in Bavaria. And this town is quite famous for its invention of the Pilsner beer. So what we decided to do is also bring you a centuries-old event that's been happening in Bavaria for a long, long time, and that is Oktoberfest. You'll get to enjoy your own exclusive Oktoberfest experience just for our guests. And I mentioned them before, I'll mention them again, the Christmas markets, river cruises, folks, my absolute favorite. Truly something European, because every single city and town does their own unique Christmas markets. And in fact, in Vienna, 5 different Christmas markets, and they are all different experiences. So what I thought I'd do, folks, is take you on a quick 2-minute journey along the beautiful Danube River so you get a good opportunity to see exactly what I've been talking about in the pictures.
The legendary Danube River has inspired artists and musicians for centuries. Along its riverbed, cities were born, castles were built, and kings and queens were crowned. And when you join us on board one of AmaWaterways' award-winning river cruise ships, you will sail through the grand capitals and charming villages where many of these castles remain, including the ruins of Dürnstein Fortress in Austria, where Richard the Lionheart was once held captive. You can hike up to this fortress and as well as spectacular castles in Budapest, Bratislava and Passau, or paddle along the riverside on one of our complimentary bike tours. On our guided tours, you can see where Mozart was born, and The Sound of Music was filmed in Salzburg, or follow the footsteps of the imperial Habsburg family in Vienna. Of course, one of the best ways to explore the Danube region is through your taste buds, and we are delighted to combine a tasting of Bavaria's famous pretzels and beer with a festive cultural experience at our exclusive year-round Oktoberfest in Wilshofen, just for AmaWaterways guests. You can also taste the famous wines from the vineyards, both on board and on shore. All of this and more is waiting for you when you cruise along the Danube River with AmaWaterways.
This is a little look at a Danube river cruise. So we move over to the Rhine, which also includes cruises down the Moselle and Main rivers, 7 up to 12-night experiences. That same map showing all the different days where you choose what it is you would like to see and do. So a traditional Rhine River experience will take you from Amsterdam down to the Swiss port city of Basel. Extensions available to explore more of Switzerland or over into Lake Como, Italy. You've also got the longer accommodations. These are our 10 to 12-night experiences, and these are the ones that will go down the Moselle River and down the Main River, because these are offshoots of the Rhine River, so some beautiful packages to explore a little further. And then you've got some specialty river cruises, including Best of Holland and Belgium, and our famous Tulip Time experiences as well. Some of the highlights along the Rhine would include that Swiss port city of Basel, stunning old city right on the river, great architecture for you to see, of course. Then Amsterdam is always a highlight, and we will always overnight in this city. So you get a full chance to experience the city during the day as well as in the evening. And then always a highlight on a Rhine River cruise is going through the Rhine Gorge, where you're going to see about 50 medieval castles. And you can see the river is very narrow, some of these dating back to the 4th century. Now, before you go and ask your consultant at CAA, okay, great, I'm going to book onto a Rhine River cruise. Which side of the ship should I book my balcony suite on? Folks, I can tell you right now that 25 of these beautiful castles are on the starboard side, 25 are on the port side. So it doesn't really make any difference. In fact, if you're traveling with friends, get a balcony suite across one another, and then you can just simply pop over to their balcony and watch that stunning castle sail on by. And again, just like on the Danube, the Rhine is no different. You've got some beautiful little towns and villages along the Rhine. One of my favorite being Rudesheim, stunning valley town where it's over top of a beautiful hillside winery experience. So again, all sorts of great things to do in this little town. And yes, folks, the Christmas markets are alive and well on the Rhine River. And this happens to be a shot of the one in Cologne outside their famous Gothic cathedral. Now, over into France and Portugal, folks, we highlight these countries a little bit differently for a couple of reasons. First of all, as you can see on the maps, their rivers are standalone rivers. They are not interconnected like the Rhine and the Danube and such. So as a result, we've got ships on each of these rivers, but they can be connected by doing back-to-back, and we will just take you from one area over to the other. The other is that these rivers are actually smaller than the Danube, smaller than the Rhine, and therefore, this is where you're going to find our boutique fleet of ships, because a full-size river cruise ship cannot actually navigate these rivers. So in Portugal, our ships have 100 guests. In France, they have 140, but they have all the same features as the video I showed you earlier, just a few less guests on board. That same map to show all the different days where you're choosing the tours that you would like to see and do. So over into the rivers of France, you've got the Seine in the northwestern part, you've got the Rhone and Saône down the heart, and then you've got the rivers of the Bordeaux region down in the southwestern part of France. Over into Portugal, the World UNESCO Listed Heritage River known as the Douro, going through the Douro Valley, 7-night experiences in and out of Porto, or you can do one way in order to allow you to go over and visit Spain. So some of the highlights along France would be, of course, Avignon, beautiful old walled city. That's the Pont d'Avignon, of course, and this is also home to the Vatican for a few centuries as well. Down in the Bordeaux region, you've got some world-famous vineyards, such as the Saint-Emilion vineyards, so you get a chance to tour and sample their beautiful wines. And then up on the Seine River, of course, this is a very famous area for a number of historic wars that happened throughout the centuries. And what we actually do is a bit unique, is when we have Canadians on board, we actually split them off into a Canadian group so that we're going to take you off to the Juno Beach Center, obviously area of importance for the Canadians with regards to our history. And it's not all just about the wars that were fought along the Seine. A number of famous artists made their home along the river, including Monet. This is his home in Giverny, just outside of Vernon, France. Then over into Portugal, of course, you'll always start in Lisbon, the capital, do 3 nights here before we take you up to Porto. This is the port city. And folks, going along the Douro is really a throwback to old style Europe. These are still the fishing boats they use to this very day. And this area is also known for its olive production, the almond groves, and of course, famous port wine. But about halfway through a Douro River cruise, there's a nice surprise for some Canadian guests. And I always like to ask you, how many of you listening tonight have maybe sampled a glass or two of Mateus Rosé wine in the past? Yes, and I'm sure a lot of you decided after you drank the bottle, you stuck a candle on the top, decorated your homes. Well, folks, it's a nice surprise because on a Douro River cruise, halfway through, you're going to stop in Regao. This is home to the Royal Mateus Palace and where Mateus wine is still made to this very day. So a nice little treat and a sampling of some wine from the past. And of course, we'll take you right to the Spanish border over into the medieval city of Salamanca, just over into Spain. Now, folks, when you're talking with the CAA consultants, maybe you're looking through their brochures and you don't exactly see the river cruise you were hoping to do. Doesn't mean it doesn't exist, because nowadays we have a lot of Canadians who are looking to travel for 3 or 4 weeks. They're wanting to go over for longer periods of time. And you can combine any of our river cruises together and get additional savings. And as you've learned, all of our ships are the same. So that's how we are able to do these combination cruises. I can tell you a very popular one that I have guests doing. They'll go from Amsterdam down to Basel. They'll take the TGV high-speed train over to Paris and spend a week in Paris. And then they're going to do a river cruise down the Rhone River through the heart of France. So again, all sorts of combinations can exist, and the CAA team will be able to guide you through. And folks, we also do some beautiful pre and post packages on all of our river cruises, because not all of the cities in Europe are necessarily on the rivers. Cities such as Prague or Istanbul. So folks, we of course will stay in 4- and 5-star centrally located hotels. You get sightseeing and such included, but what we do is quite unique in that our same cruise manager that you've just sailed with is also escorting you on the land component. So I'm going to get my friend Jonathan to tell you a bit more about our pre and post land packages.
If you've already booked your cruise with AmaWaterways in a destination far from home, then why not extend your stay by booking one of our pre or post cruise land packages? Add bonus time in a fascinating city along the river, such as Budapest, Amsterdam or Paris, or venture to another city or country beyond the riverbanks, from Lake Como, Italy, to Spain's Basque Country, to Ha Long Bay, Vietnam, or even Dubai in the United Arab Emirates. Each land package includes overnight accommodations at a world-class 4- or 5-star hotel, as well as daily breakfast, guided excursions, and convenient transfers and luggage service between your hotel and the river cruise ship. Plus, you'll be taken care of by one of AmaWaterways cruise managers like me throughout your river cruise and land journey. Reserve a pre-cruise land package before your river cruise embarks to rest and recover from your international flights, or pamper yourself before returning home on one of our post-cruise packages. Either way, we encourage you to make the most of your long-awaited vacation with AmaWaterways. Join us and stay a while. Just contact your travel advisor to book your pre- or post-cruise land package.
That's just a bit more about our pre and post packages, which of course you can add to any of our river cruises. And we also have a number of specialty cruises, folks, because folks, AmaWaterways is the only river cruise line whose sole focus is to provide you with a luxury river cruise experience. We do not have an ocean cruising division to worry about. We don't have a coach touring division to worry about. We are focused on bringing out some incredible cruises, and we're always trying to develop new and exciting river cruises. The first one we did was back in 2009. We brought out a program called our Celebration of Wine Cruises. Now, wine is an integral part of European history, so our idea was to bring a North American wine host onto a couple of cruises, have them bring their new world wines, compare them to the old world wines of Europe where you're traveling through. You get all the same great inclusions, plus a few extra excursions off some chateaus, wineries, some extra tastings on board. Well, folks, we started with 2 of those in 2009. This year, we'll be operating 72 different Celebration of Wine cruise experiences. Another new program we developed in 2023 was our Soulful Experiences, and this was to celebrate Black history and culture on the rivers of France. Now, again, we weren't sure what the response would be, but within 4 days, it was completely sold out. So it has now become a permanent part of our product lineup, and we're adding Soulful Experiences on to the Douro in Portugal, over onto the Nile in Egypt, and onto the Magdalena River in Colombia. And next year, we are at it again. We're bringing in a brand new program called Celebration of Music. Now, music, just like wine, integral part of European history. So we developed a new itinerary called the Best of the Danube, 7-night round trip from Budapest. It overnights in Budapest, it overnights in Vienna. Again, we'll have a North American musical guest on board to kind of elaborate on the European musical history. But in addition to all the same great inclusions, when you're in Budapest, when you're in Bratislava, when you're in Salzburg, when you are in Vienna, there will be an exclusive musical performance just for our AmaWaterways passengers to enjoy. And folks, I don't want to miss out on probably what are my favorite river cruises, and these are the exotic rivers. Now, when you go on these beautiful experiences, it's really about experiencing the locals, talking and seeing all different foods, religions, and transportation and such. And folks, when we decided to go outside of Europe, our first foray was to go down onto the Mekong River in Southeast Asia. And we were the very first North American river cruise line to have our own ship down on the Mekong River. Now, it's a 7-night experience between southern Vietnam and Cambodia with extensions up into northern Vietnam, and even over into Bangkok, Thailand. Now, as I said, folks, it really is about experiencing some unique religions and transportations and tasting the foods and everything else like that. Now, when you're on a river cruise down here, folks, the ships look a little different because we don't have the same low bridges or locks to go through, but the onboard experience is exactly the same as any AmaWaterways river cruise. So this is the Amadara down on the Mekong. She has 124 passengers, but every single cabin are our signature twin balcony suites with the indoor, outdoor balconies, multiple restaurants, and the rooftop pool experience. Next, we decided to be the first and still the only river cruise line to have a wildlife river cruise experience on the Chobe River in South Central Africa. Now, folks, you can extend the experience, go up and see East Africa, see more of South Africa, even the Rwanda gorillas package you can add on. But we know that when you go on a wildlife experience, you are really looking to see at all the wildlife that is in the area. And if you take a land safari, there's never a guarantee that you're actually going to see all the wildlife that is in the area. However, on a wildlife river cruise with AmaWaterways, we can make that guarantee, folks, because the Chobe River is the only watering hole between Namibia and Botswana, meaning all of these animals have to come to the river every single day to bathe, to feed, and that's where we'll be sitting on the beautiful and very intimate Zambezi Queen. Only 28 guests on board, all with balcony suites. It's also the only river cruise we have that doesn't have a set itinerary. The captain's sole responsibility is to follow the wildlife each and every day so that every morning when you wake up and you're dining on the top deck, you'll be dining with the elephants and the giraffes. Next, we decided to go over into Egypt and bring a stunning river cruise experience to the Nile River. Now, the Nile River for centuries has been the home to many temples and tombs from all the pharaohs and all the rulers. So it's a 7-night round trip experience from Luxor, 3 nights in Cairo beforehand, with extensions over into Jordan and Dubai. Now, again, it's about seeing and really experiencing the pyramids, the Sphinx, and all of those stunning experiences that Egypt, of course, is world famous for. And again, just like our other exotics, it's a boutique river cruise experience. So the Amadalia has 72 guests, but it was so popular, we had to add a second ship this year. So the Amalia joined her to handle the demand and capacity for traveling over into Egypt. And then next year, folks, we are ecstatic to be the very first river cruise line to have our own cruise on the Magdalena River in Colombia. This is a World UNESCO listed heritage site, and it's going to be a 7-night cruise between Barranquilla and Cartagena. And of course, folks, the ocean ships have been stopping in Cartagena for well over 10 years. Colombia is actually the second fastest growing tourist destination in the entire world. So we are ecstatic to bring this great experience going down the Magdalena River. Pre and post packages are also available in Medellin and over into Panama. Now down here, some vibrant colors. You've got amazing musical experiences because this is actually where Carnival was invented. So we're going to bring an exclusive Carnival performance every time our guests are in Barranquilla, and there is some stunning wildlife to see down here. Again, a boutique river cruise experience, 64 guests on the Ama Magdalena when she comes out in March of next year, followed by the Ama Melodia with another 64 guests coming out next summer. So folks, these are the brochures. Please get in touch with your CAA team. They can send you a brochure. They can send you any sort of links that you want for any of the experiences. But we are focused on bringing you to the hearts of these beautiful countries. And folks, the hearts of all of these countries truly are the rivers.
Step aboard a world of exceptional experiences, where your journey is our passion. Allow us to share villages that time forgot. Walk along cobblestone streets filled with the lights. Paddle through historic town squares and revel in moments that last a lifetime. When you step aboard AmaWaterways, each day brings a genuine smile that warms the heart. Every river a new culture that inspires. And each course a moment to savor and share. Experience these wonders and delights with AmaWaterways. the heart of the river.
So folks, as the CAA team will certainly tell you, the earlier you book an AmaWaterways River Cruise, the better offer you are always going to receive. So I want to go through a few of these offers that we have out right now. And there happens to be a Canadian resident promotion. It's a triple savings offer for you to take advantage of. And it's on select sailings for March of next year. Now, folks, the first thing I want to tell you, March weather in Europe is not March weather in Canada. In fact, I always like to use this analogy because, of course, we are always waiting for our tulips to come up, and we hope that they come up by the start of May. Folks in Europe, they're coming up at the start of March. So it's that kind of weather that you will be enjoying. And folks, if you take one of those cruises, you'll save $3,600 off per couple. You'll also get a complimentary stateroom upgrade. That's a value of about $1,000 and prepaid gratuity. So we've got it on 7 different departures happening on the Danube, about 7 different departures happening on the Rhine, including our famous tulip time, and a few cruises over in France on the Seine and the Bordeaux. So if you're interested in going on one of those cruises, certainly get in touch with the CAA team and they can guide you on one of those. Now, if those dates don't work, we've got another great promotion out, which is save up to 20% on about 300 different cruises in 2025 and into 2026. We've also got a triple savings program on our summer sailings in July and August, and also for our holiday market cruises for next year and into 2026. Now, I know this slide says 25, but folks, I think there's only a couple of cruises left that have this promotion, and that's because the Christmas markets cruises fill up extremely quickly. In fact, they're about 70% sold out for next year, and we haven't even started the Christmas markets cruises for this year yet. In fact, folks, river cruising does fill up really early. This is why our 26 programs are already out. We're already about 60% full for the 2025 season overall. So again, get in touch with the CAA team, of course, to get on your AmaWaterways River Cruise. Now, I know I've been talking about everything and all the promotions as if we are 2 people traveling together, but we know that there's a number of solo travelers also looking to sail. And folks, with AmaWaterways, we've got some amazing offers for the solo traveler as well on about 50 different departures for 2025. You can get anywhere from a reduced single supplement of only 25% to absolutely no single supplement, even on the balcony suite. So again, great opportunities. Please get in touch with your CAA team. They've got all of the information on our solo traveler specials. And folks, we also know that you need to fly to get over to join any of our river cruises. So on any river cruise in Europe or even into Egypt that has a promotion on it, you can take advantage of this guaranteed airfare. As long as you don't have a preference of your air carrier, you can go for $10.99 Canadian round trip, all the way up to only $49.99 for business class. It's on 15 Canadian gateways across the country. So again, great opportunity for you there. And if you're looking at one of our exotics, folks, take advantage of the Mekong. Do the full 15-night package. If you do, on about 50 different departures, you can get 2 for 1 on the 8-night land extension. But Karen alluded to this at the beginning, and I am going to end the show with this. Make sure you are a CAA member, because in addition to all those great early booking offers, all CAA members get at least $360 off per stateroom, in addition to whatever the early booking offers are. Those are in 7 to 11 night cruises, or you're taking one of those 14-night cruises, 720 Canadian off. That's in addition to the 20% off, in addition to the triple savings. So whatever program, plus lovely welcome gift from CAA waiting for you in your stateroom. But folks, CAA also has a program called their vacations program, and they've got about 50 departure dates that we've selected in conjunction with CAA, so that if you're able to book on one of these, not only do you get your CAA member benefits, not only do you get whatever the early booking offer is, but you get additional savings of between $240 plus an onboard credit for you to enjoy as well. So really does pay to be a CAA member, folks. But as a special thank you for tuning in tonight, in addition to whatever those offers are, I want to offer you another $200 off per couple, any new booking you make within the next 14 days of this presentation. And of course, if you happen to be a past AmaWaterways guest, and I know a lot of you probably are, because CAA are big partners for us, there are additional savings and benefits that you will get on top for all of those early booking offers. So folks, that is my presentation for the evening. As Karen mentioned, though, if you've got any questions, please just put them into the little chat box. But I've also done enough of these presentations before to know some of the questions that you're probably going to ask. So while you're typing some of the ones in there, let me answer some of the main questions I tend to get asked. Whether you've heard when we are, obviously, as far as seasonality, sorry, you've heard when we cruise, whether a lot of times people come up to me and say, Neil, could you please tell me when the rainy season is over in Europe? Because I really don't think I want to book my river cruise when the rainy season is on. Folks, if I knew when the rainy season was on in Europe, I wouldn't let you book a river cruise at that time. Unfortunately, they could get rain in April, August, October. As you've learned tonight, though, those beautiful twin balcony suites, no matter what Mother Nature may throw your way, you're going to have a spectacular river cruise experience. As far as health and safety goes, folks, all of our staff are first aid trained, 24-hour security on all of our cruises, key card control access. You might start hearing about this very soon. Electronic visas are soon going to be required for all North Americans to travel over to Europe. We don't know when exactly it's coming, but it's pretty sure by 2025 it will be out. It will take all of 5 minutes to do, very easy system. And of course, the CAA team will be able to guide you through. Dress code on our cruises, folks. Smart casual environment on all of our cruises. We have no formal nights whatsoever, so no requirements for jackets and ties, no requirements for any sort of fancy cocktail dresses. Finally, electrical or currency. If you're going to bring any sort of electrical appliance from over here in Canada, please remember it is European voltage on board. So you'll need those little travel adapter kits, and how handy that we're partnering with CAA tonight. You can get them in any one of their CAA stores. There are USB charging ports in your rooms, and of course, currency. If you're going to purchase anything on board, and really there's not a lot that you can, but maybe you want to get a massage, get your hair done, buy something in the gift shop. On our European cruises, the onboard currency is the euro, and on our exotics, it is the US dollar. Of course, you can leave your credit card at the front desk, charge everything back to your room, and everything is taken care of very easily that way. So those are the main questions I get asked, but I'll give you some time to type anything in that you've got extra questions for. Of course, we look forward to welcoming you on board, but I'm going to bring my friend Karen back online, and she's going to tell you all about the advantages of booking with CAA, in addition to all the ones I've mentioned when you book with AmaWaterways.
Thank you so much, Neil. That was absolutely incredible. There's so many choices of rivers and options now with AmaWaterways. It's so exciting. So as Neil had mentioned, our team have sailed with AmaWaterways. They're going to help you every single step of the way. They're Travel Smart certified, meaning they've done lots of training over the last few years. And of course, we have the exclusive member benefits that Neil very well explained there, and you're not going to find those anywhere else. So essentially, we are your one-stop travel shop. All right, so upcoming travel talks, you can just hover your phone over that QR code on the left side there. If you'd like to share this presentation with any of your friends or family, maybe somebody you'd like to river cruise with, it'll be posted up on our website tomorrow, and you can catch it right here, catch the replay. And of course, lastly,
oh, sorry.
no
That was my cue, Karen. I wasn't paying full attention. So
you can book an appointment with your CAA travel counselor. We want to make it easy for you. So again, you can come in person, or you can email the girls and guys at CAA Travel who are there to assist you. Or if you just want to email us, again, the preference is completely yours. We want to make it easy for you. So thank you so much, Neil. And I hope there's definitely a river cruise that's got you excited. I know I'm certainly ready to river cruise again in 25. And thank you so much for joining us. Thank you very much, Neil.
thanks for having me, Karen. Good night, everyone.